Yeah, this is Big Frank. I just want to start by thank you for your comments, your lovely engagement. It's very encouraging. I'm just here for the message, really. I just want to get the message out to the people. You know, it's not so much about the views, it's about the lives that you can save, you know. But still more work needs to be done, you know, because the issue hasn't changed. It hasn't gone away because it's a new week. You know, kids are still getting misled. People are still getting misled. You know, it's a serious thing right now, to the point where even your friends, having friends, you have to question your friends. And it's like you have to do a proper CRB check on your own friends. It's deep because you don't know what anyone's motive. You can sit down and say, oh, he's my bona fide. But how many of these people actually sit in your mother's house on a day-to-day basis? How many of them would you leave with your kids on a day-to-day basis? It's deep because back in the day, you could, you know, friends, family, it was all the same thing. You know, I couldn't be here today. I'll send my friend to go and pick up my kid. But now it's a bit sticky, you know what I mean? It's different because you don't know the motives of people. I'm not saying that there's no good friends, but you just have to be a bit more careful now because these kids and social media have made them like they're more open now to everything, you know? Mum's word, dad's word is not enough anymore, you know? Social media says it's right to do this, so I'm all right to do this. The law says you're allowed to do this, you're allowed to do this. So our words don't hit as hard like when we were growing up. When I was growing up, mum said something, it meant that's it. If you didn't, introduce you to Levi's 501 leather belt. So it's a whole different ball game now. Now you literally have to I've seen people become like their kid's friend, lower themselves down to become like proper pally just so they can have a better relationship with their kids. You know what I mean? Like it's deep, but the thing is, my issue is now is like this case of misleading. It's leading like you got grown men, like you're hanging around with 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids. Like everybody would have a problem if a grown man was hanging around with a young girl of that same age, but when it comes to young boys, it's okay. But it's not really okay because the thing is, unless you know their parents, you shouldn't even really be engaging with them like that. You know what I mean? Because unless you're telling them to go to school or find something, stay in school, do something positive, you know, respect your parents like you're meant to, you shouldn't have no business with them. And this is the thing, these kids, because their life has been open to everything nowadays, yeah, the internet has made everybody accessible and there's so many different things that are now allowed in this world, even people's views can change their minds. The parent's voice doesn't have that as much power as it used to. You know what I mean? And it's worrying because a lot of these kids today, they don't want to be in the situations that they get into. But the thing is, people befriend them, you know? And once you befriend the kid and he finds that comfort zone with you, they start to share things with you that create that vulnerability. Like maybe there's a lack of money in the house or this and that. And then automatically somebody will come up with an idea of how to make money. And you know what? You know, and they tell you in a way that is kind of, it's okay to sell drugs. It's okay to hold a gun. I'm giving you £500. You could use that and help mummy with the shopping and that. But you don't need to tell mummy where the money come from. But she'll be happy because money's coming in. And the thing is, the kids are a bit naive. Because the thing is, innocently, some of them are thinking, oh yes, you know what? It's £500. It would help mummy. But the bigger picture is that you take that £500, you sign a contract now. You're putting yourself into something that you shouldn't even have been in because these adults should not be speaking to the young kids. Because if you want to speak to a kid, you're meant to speak to the parent and ask them permission to do that. But people are not doing that. They're not speaking to the parent. They speak directly to the kids. And this is where my thing is it becomes it becomes like a situation. It becomes a big problem. Because you wouldn't have your kids frontline selling drugs, but you would have somebody else's kids frontline selling drugs. And you use their vulnerability or their family situations or their lack of as a way to get in with them. It's like, that's bad. That is real bad. That's something I could never do. Now, everybody's got a hustle, I get it. But don't make kids your hustle. Don't make kids your hustle, because your kids are innocent. And you got to understand, some of these kids are your kids' age. So they're going to bump up. They may be friends with your kid one day. They may be able to sell the dream to your own kid as well, just like you sold them the dream. You got to understand that this has a knock-on effect. Sometimes you don't even realize the damage you're doing to these kids until like you step away from the game and they've become you now. They want everything that you had, but the thing is, because they've started for so young, they've become so ruthless now, they don't even know how to turn back. Do you know what I mean? Because this misleading, we teach kids how to get into the game, but we don't teach them how to get out of it. So it's a one-way contract. You stay with me until I finish and I'm comfortable, then I can kick out and then I leave you. Abandon you. And it's really bad. And this is not only with kids, it's with like in your households, it's in with like relationships. Because look, as a man, you get into that kind of world, like where, like I'm just saying, outside on the street, yeah, you bring your stuff to the house. Now you compromise everybody in the house. Now you put your missus, who may be a good person, who working 9 to 5 person, you gotta make her think twice about being in the house or being with you. Now she's thinking to herself, oh, do you know what? Do I accept this or do I not accept this? But he's my partner, so I should support my partner. Like, it's a kind of pressure. Even if you're not saying it to them, they feel obligated to you, especially if they have a kid that they must kind of like, oh, do you know what? I'll let that slide. Not everybody does, but the thing is, no woman should be in that position in the first place. No friend should be put in that position in the first place. You know what I mean? People should be free to live their life the way they choose. They live their life if they're living legitly. Don't compromise them, because remember, when you do things, this pressure, you've made someone now conform to a world or enter a world that they didn't want to be in. So when things go wrong, unless you're going to openly grasp on yourself, everybody becomes the victim of this criminal activity. And that's the problem. And I've been in that situation before. Do you know what it is? So it's not a nice situation, because nobody should be made to suffer because of things that they didn't do and that I did or he did or they did. It's not their business. But the thing is, even if you're saying it's your business, before they accept it, your business, it's already gone too far. Do you understand? Because people's privacy is being invaded. People's homes are being invaded. Kids, like they're exposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed to, because the thing is, before you're around, they were living a nice life. It was peaceful. So when you're getting into a world, you have to be very careful. And I don't advise anybody to get into a world, because the thing is, you don't own your life. When you put yourself in the street, you don't own your life. You do not own your life. Your life is owned by the streets. It's owned by the people that you're around. You know what I mean? You enter a world where there's no rules. And the thing is, that's why kids are getting misled to go in and take the risks. They're asked to enter a world and take the risk for the older people. So I can sit back, chill out, live my good life with my family and my kids while you kids are taking the risk. Do you know what I mean? You have situations. Why there's kids riding out for a grown man who created his own beef now, but you're getting kids to go and sort out your situation. Like, what? You created a problem. Why don't you go and sort it out yourself? But you're getting kids to do this, because the thing is, when shit goes wrong, they take the blame. And you can sit in your house with your kids comfortably while somebody else's mum and dad are sitting there crying over their kids. Maybe they might not see them for the next 10 years. But it doesn't concern you. Because at the end of the day, Nobody held a gun to your head. Oh, like you were making your money. You had this. You had that. I changed your life for you. That's all that matters to people. But the thing is, it's deeper than that. People need to understand, like this is serious. You're playing with some serious things here now, because you're creating a whole generation of like-minded people. The like-minded people that of the you that used to be in the street and the you that is in the street, of those people. You're creating more of you. Copy and paste. And you're putting your ID on people's kids. You know, it's not right, bro. Because you take away the respect from the parent, because some of these kids, they get so locked into this world, and the way you're treating them and the money and everything, they forget where they came from. Like, no longer the mum is telling you what to do. Your word means nothing. The dad's telling you what to do. The word means nothing. But their elders can tell them anything. They'll sit down and conform. Like, you take away, like, the role of the parent. And it's not right. Because I've seen it. Like, kids literally listen to their elders like that's their dad. They can tell you to go and do this and do that, do this and do that, and you're prepared to do it. Throw your life away for your older. But your mum can tell you, listen, just go to the shop and get me some. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, mum, no, I can't do it another time. But the thing is, your older will tell you ride out. You're ready to ride out. You're ready to throw your whole life away for someone you've known for 2 minutes. But the person that raised you your whole life, gave you food, made sure that you had a roof over your head, put the trainers on your feet with the little that they had, is no longer valuable. And like, it's mad, because somebody could tell you about your mum, you're ready to kill them. But when your mum is telling you about how to look after yourself, you ain't got no respect for her. You only respect her when people are talking bad on her. But the thing is, when she's talking good to you, you don't listen. You know, it's like, it just annoys me. I've never, like, I can't judge people because I've been a little bit instrumental in misleading kids. Do you know? Maybe using the same thing kind of create an opportunity for you, but it is wrong. It's ultimately wrong. So I had to check myself, and sitting down here now, I feel so ashamed that I even like got involved in such a world. Because it's not a world that I can sit down and have a conversation with my child and teach them that, oh yeah, like, yeah, man, I used to do this and I used to do, like, it's not a world that I'm fully interested in. My kids, they kind of know about me, but the thing is, it's not something that I'm proud to say. You understand? Even though there's a lesson to be learned from it, I'm not proud to say that I was in that world, because the thing is, some kids will see, well, if it was good enough for dad, then it can be good enough for me. But I'm going to learn when I'm ready to do this and do that. Like, it's not that life. It's not that. Because I spoke to a kid quite recently. He was getting lost and he's saying like, I'm involved in this and I'm involved. First thing I asked him is like, bro, why are you in this? He said, I just need money, bro. So why don't you get a job? Oh, I know I can't get a job now. So, you know, that's going to pay good money. So I'm going to wait till I'm 18. And like, if the elders are telling me I can make $1,000 a week, like, bro, I've never seen $1,000. So instantly, they're playing on their weaknesses, and it's bad. It is bad. You can't do this to young kids, because these kids, they have a future. Now you've taken away their future from their mind and put it in your hands now. And the thing is, when they fuck up, you're gonna just move on. And then in the meantime, this kid is damaged. Do you know how many kids commit suicide? Do you know how many kids are out there on the street? Do you know how many kids have been kicked out of the house because somebody, older person who's meant to be guiding them, has misled them, and they've got themselves so involved with their immature mind and believing in what you've told them that they've come to a crossroad. And now you're not putting them up, but you want them to sleep in a drug house when they had a bed, with a 13 tog, nice duvet, TV, food, fridge. Now you want to sleep in the trap house because you wouldn't put them up in your house because you can't have them kind of people around your own kids. It's like you seriously need to think about what we're doing here now. Seriously need to think about what we're doing here. And in terms of relationships as well, like, for me, it's very selfish to be in the game and then expect a woman that's not in the game to accept a lifestyle. Change her principles and morals to accept this when she doesn't really want it. But there are women out there that were, you know what, they're in it. They like it. Fair enough. And I'm not here to judge nobody. But when you have somebody that you value so much, that is your apple of your eye, your queen, your everything, you don't put your queen in risk. You don't gamble with your queen. Because you know, in my world, there's a chance that somebody could come to my house and shoot up my house. There's a chance that somebody could get kidnapped. There's a chance that someone could get killed. There's a chance that I could get arrested. So now, why would you want that for your queen? We've all made mistakes. We've all been there. But why would you want that? In this current day, why would you want that? That's your backbone. Somebody who supports you, who's even looking after your kids. Why would you want that for your queen? You know, people don't think. They just think money first. They don't think about the consequences. Money can buy you everything that you want, but it can't buy your way out of trouble. Understand this. And I'm not talking about solicitors. I'm not talking about that. When you've already been sentenced for 30 years, it can't buy back the years. It can't buy back the pain. It can't buy back the destruction. It can't buy back the trauma that is left in the child because you're not around. It can't buy back these things. Even the woman, she may stand by you, but she's scarred forever. The pain that your mother goes through because you put pressure on her. Because you know what it is? People got to understand this. They got to understand this. It's a knock-on effect. You may be able to get over it, but the damage you do to the kid that you dragged involved, the missus that is involved, her family, because whatever you go through, her family go through. Whatever you go through, your family go through. You got to understand this. Every kid that is like washed up on the TV, like, oh, another one's dead. This is dead. This one's dead. This one's dead. This one's missing. This one's been sentenced. This one's been like, a lot of these kids have been misguided. A lot of them have been misguided. I believe a majority of them that in the street got introduced to the street. Even though you may have come out of the street, you left them in the street, and so they've become misguided. So they've become this raging animal that you took under your wing and with control and created animals out of them, savages, and then you just left them. So when you took yourself out and realized that it's no longer good enough for you, you left them in there so it could be good enough for them. And all they have is what you've taught them. So that little initial peer pressure to be better, be a provider, be a this, be that for your family. Dude, like, you use it for the wrong things, bro. You could have told them to stay in school. Yes, you have a situation. If you really cared about that kid, you would have told them to just stay positive. Things would change. You know what? Because I grew up in a house where we didn't really have nothing. Do you understand? We didn't have nothing. So, but mum and dad gave us everything. Understand that everything meant everything. It wasn't much, but it was everything they had, so it was everything. The sacrifice just to put a plate on the table, that was everything. It meant everything. But sitting there, hearing mum talk about, don't leave the light on because it's expensive. Nobody's got the money for this. Oh, you can't have this because no one's got the money for this. Or you can't go on this trip because nobody's got the money for this. You automatically take it on board because as a kid, you want your mum to be nice. So now that becomes the pressure that you created on yourself because your mother never asked you to go and do that. So understand what pressure is. That's self-imposed pressure. So you kids out there, understand what I'm saying to you. Your mother is not asked you to go on that strip to help her. You understand? Unless they have, which is bad. But they're not asking you to do that when they're telling you what they're going through. They're just asking you to be considerate of what they're going through. Things will get better. But for now, we just have to manage. Understand the message there, what they're saying to you. Because as a person like myself, I took it wrong. I thought, all right, you know what? Let me go out there, make some money. I can help mum, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't help mum. I just created more problems for mum. I created a bigger division between me and mum. Because the thing is, when you're trying to bring something into the house and somebody's not even somebody, mum's not accepting it, you get like, you start to like have that resentment a little bit. Because the thing is, I'm putting my life at risk so you can be better, mum. But my mum never asked me to put my life at risk. She never told me that she needed me to go on the street. Because going back on the street is now adding to her problem. It's not only money now, it's now that I've got a son that's doing wrong. So we got to be careful how we speak to the kids and what we speak in front of our kids. Because the thing is, they take it and they literally go run with it. They may not talk to you about it, but trust me, it's in the back of their mind because kid that loves their parents want to see them suffer. So the thing is, instantly you think solution. And when you're a young kid, you can't work, but you can work if you look for the right opportunities. And there is people there that prey on kids. So we just really, really got to be very mindful. And the generation out here, like, we can't condemn each other for things that we've done in the past when we've made change to try and amend it. But we need to do better. Everybody out there. There's no reason why our kids are doing reckless behavior on the road now to the point where we've corrupted them so bad that it's even hard to get through to them now. Because we've introduced them into a world. It's like the going into Narnia, when you open that wardrobe and they walk into a world where it's different. You know, even a little kid can be that guy. You know, because we've given them that power to be that guy. You know, we've given them things that they'll never ever get in their house. We've made them hold things that they'll never ever get in the house. We've made them exposed to things that they'll never ever get in the house. By using their weaknesses, using their vulnerability, using their lack of understanding of what they're actually doing. And it's really wrong. You need to be more mindful. Because remember, if it's not good enough for your kid, don't make it good enough for someone else's kid. Because maybe one day when you're sitting back, somebody might think, okay, it's not good enough for my kid, but it'd be good enough for your kid. So you got to understand, because you will not have it. You'll be sitting there going crazy. But the thing is, you weren't going crazy when you're misleading other people's kids. So understand this. This is a serious thing, because every kid that we mislead has the potential to be a friend of our own kids, or somehow bump into our kids on a different regime. Do you understand? If we're making these kids savages and there are kids age, maybe they might lock heads one day. But we've made savages. We're not making our kids savages because we want our kids to be normal. So then what happens when that savage that we do bumps head with our kid on a bad tip? Now we will be responsible for that. We never told them to do it, but we'll be responsible for it because we've created a generation of savages that are not going to respect their people of their age, because we've got them doing adult work. So they're not going to respect the 15-year-old, the 16-year-old, the 14-year-old, because they're dealing with big people now. So if I'm good enough to lick down a big man or ride up on big man and handle big business, I'm not going to deal with a little kid no more. You're giving them shoes to walk in that don't fit them, but they're dragging their foot just so they can impress you. You understand? So people that age, like, now, they don't respect them. They'll deal with them in a way that they shouldn't be dealing with them because you've given them license to be something that they never ever asked for. Do you know? Mindful. Very, very mindful. And as parents, you got to be careful. I'll go over this again. Careful what you put on the table in front of your kids. Careful, because every conversation you put on your kids, don't think they don't understand it. They understand it fully. Because the pressure starts with the first sentence that you talk about what you don't have. The struggle, their pain, their this. The kid automatically is going to think, I need to do something about this. Don't put that pressure on them, because then it makes their mind think outside of the box, and they need to be thinking in the box that you put them in, because the box that you put them in is safekeeping. You only give them the tools to survive as long as they can, and guidance for when you're not here no more, or when they fly the nest, you give them better options. But when you put that out to them, some kids can perceive it the wrong way and think, you know what, I'm gonna step up and do my job. But it's not your job. Your job is to just be the kid. Your job is to be the kid. So please, parents as well, be mindful when you're speaking to them. You know, it's not, nothing's done deliberately. Sometimes you just, you know, you get in that situation of vulnerability and you're like, things are not going well. You just speak out into the air. But remember, whatever you put in the air is going to affect somebody somewhere. Do you understand? It's like, it's deep. It is deep, because pressure moves around like COVID. It affects people. You know, you put it out there, it hits everybody. Not everybody's strong enough to deal with the pressure. Some people submit to pressure and they deal with it how they think it will help the situation. And a lot of these kids, like, they use this pressure the wrong way. So, like, for me, it's about, like, we got to understand this generation, you know. These kids have got to understand, you know what is, like, I want to say, like, unlearn what we've taught you. You understand? And, like, but the teachers of the youths now are the people, are the teachers that are the students that we taught. So it's like we can only get through to the ones that we know personally if they're not too far gone. But they've already passed on the information to somebody else. So it's generational. The teachers are getting younger and younger. The kids are getting younger and younger. The gun holders, the drug dealers are getting younger and younger. The murderers are getting younger and younger. The people in the grave are getting younger and younger. And this has all been a knock-on effect because we taught them a curriculum that was flawed. Absolutely flawed. A curriculum that was only good enough for everybody outside of our personal houses, outside of our personal families. Do you understand? We don't mind people's families dying. That's where you got to look at it, really. It's deep like that, but you got to look at it like that, because the thing is, when you put somebody else's kid forward, you know what it involves, because you're a person that's been on the street. You may have been shot at, you've been chased down, you've been run down, you've had to leave the area because people were after you, you've had police chasing you, you're on the run. So you know what it is. So when you put someone else's kid forward, you literally put their life forward as with them. You're putting that, have them. The street have them, but you're not going to have me, but you can have them. Because the thing is, as long as you're making your money, you don't care. But if things go wrong, have them. How many people do you see sitting there, like the kid's gone to jail, but he's one of your workers? How many are these elders that drag him in are going to visit them every day, telling them it's going to be okay? The £500 that you promised him that will help his mum, how many of them are going to their mum's house and saying, here, sorry, my bad, here's the £500. Sorry, I fucked up, your kid's not here no more. It's my fault. You're not owning it. Why are you owning it for? You're not owning it. What you're doing, you're bringing the next one in. So the thing is, you're creating a generation of damage. Damage. You don't realize some of these kids, they can't hack Joe. And they're only out doing the most because they believe they've got you to keep them safe. Do you understand? If I do something, yes, don't worry. I'm a known face in the area. I've got you. Don't worry. But the thing is, you ain't got them. This is the thing. You haven't got them. You've only got them when they're doing things for you. But you ain't got them because you're not going down for no little kid. What he done. Because the thing is, so what I'm saying to you is now, stop putting them on the line. Stop putting them on the line. Stop selling them these dreams. Because the thing is, these dreams turn into nightmares real quick for these kids. And the thing is, some of them don't even get to wake up to correct it. They don't get to wake up. And some of them go to jail for long periods. They come out and they're emotionally damaged. They're so detached from the world and their families and all that. Because remember, like a 14-year-old kid that goes in there for stabbing or murder, attempted murder, maybe he gets 6-7 years. He comes out when he's 20 years of age. His whole youth has gone because you opened the door to a world that his mother never asked you to do. His whole world has gone. He comes out. Now, in his head, he's only got one option. Get back into the game because he's been in jail. He's had to go through trauma. Being in the street, he had to go through trauma. He's now become a different kind of beast because in jail, he had to go, he's around people that he then were never from his world. They only become part of his world when you took him through that door. Now, in jail, he may have had to fight. He had to do this. He's now exposed to other people, other masterminds, you know. In his head, I need to get back. You know what is? His family may have locked him off because the thing is, this is not the kid I raised. Because when you're doing this, you don't understand. You're changing. It's like you're changing the kid's DNA. They become unrecognizable anymore. Unrecognizable anymore. You know, the parents that raised them don't even know them. You can't control somebody no more. You know, the ownership. It's like you've given up the ownership. You've changed the birth certificate, the name on the birth certificate to the name of the older now. It's deep. It's deep. You gotta be mindful, man. These kids are coming out. We're mashing them up. We're mashing them up with fake dreams. Fake dreams. It's like slavery. You're putting them into a field to do work that you're not prepared to do yourself. Because if you're prepared to do yourself, you wouldn't need kids. You wouldn't need kids. But you know what it is? A kid that needs money, you know you can always bargain with him. Come on, bruv. Tell them to get a job. Help them get a CV together and get them to do a job. Maybe one day, you know what? That you helping that kid, later on down the line, that kid may be able to help your child. It may be the reason why your child is alive today. Maybe the reason why your child, you know what, when it was contemplating going on the street, that kid that you saved will be able to sit down with your child and say, like, you know what? I get you, but the thing is, this is the way to do it. You got to be mindful what you put out there into these kids' ears, yeah, can translate into a message that goes right back to your kid. Understand that. Right back to your kid. Because remember, you're with your kid in the morning, but at some point, they're in school, they're away from you for large periods, and in that large period, they're around like-minded people from all different backgrounds. Some of them could be around the same people that you're corrupting. So imagine now if your kid's not strong-minded. If you haven't had the conversation with your kid. That's my friend. Ride or die, like you got your friends, your gang. Like, what? My friend, that's my friend, I trust him. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It's deep like that. You got to be very mindful. Mindful. Parents, we need to do more. We need to do more. Seriously, we need to do more. Because your kids shouldn't be able to get groomed like this. It's very bad. I'm not saying lock them away, but the thing is, get them into activities. Get them into activities. Teach them. Don't make them they don't have to walk in your shoes. Just because you messed up doesn't mean they have to mess up. Do you understand? Change the road. Change the destination that they're going to. You know, your destination led you to the wrong path. So the thing is, don't make your kid walk down the same path. You know what it is? We only can change our lives through doing right by ourselves. Do you understand? You change your life. You have to look at your kid. If your kid is doing the same thing as you, you haven't changed. You haven't changed. You need to work harder. Because if I've changed my life, my kids should be able to see it and aspire to be like me. No kid should be aspiring to be like somebody on the road. So an older. Like, the older didn't do nothing for you. You didn't raise me. You didn't put money on my food on my plate. So why are they aspiring to be like the older? You need to be more in touch. You know what I mean? Seriously. I'm not saying that it's an easy job. It's not an easy job. And like, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest parent in the world. No, I make mistakes every day. But the thing is, you know, you have to learn from them. You have to learn from them. And that goes by just speaking. Don't be scared to speak about certain things. Because it's better that they get educated from you than they get educated from outside. Because outside, it's about glamorization. Yeah? They're not telling you about the tragedies. They're not telling you about running up in your house. They're not telling you about this. Do you know what? You can make £1,000. You could do this. You could do that. And you can help your mum with that. With this, you could buy your mum a car. You can buy your dad a car. You can take them on holiday. Have they been on holiday? If they haven't been on holiday, do this. No way. Come on. Make 10 grand. Look, go and buy your mum a house. It's normal. Look, I made 10 grand a week. A kid that hasn't seen a penny. Wow, 10 grand. Right. Look how he's doing that. You know what I mean? It's easy for them to do it when you've got the money. But the thing is, it's easy to sell them a dream when they don't have the money. Do you understand? You understand? When you don't have nothing, yeah, everything becomes, even the smallest things, has a price. People prepared to do anything when you don't have money. You know, when you need money, you haven't got this, you haven't got the means. You know what? Even things that are not in your program or in your life or in your path, you know, for the right price, kids are prepared to do it. Remember, they haven't seen life. You've seen life, so you know what it's about. So just teach them. Don't be scared. There's nothing that you should be off limits to teach your kids when it comes to like saving their life. Saving their life. There's no boundaries. Because they're exposed to everything anyway. They're exposed to everything. So you might as well tell them your side of it. Because the thing is, your side of it holds weight before the corruption. If you teach them before they get to go out on their own and before they can get corrupted, you know what is? They still might get corrupted. But the thing is, they have something to think about first. They don't just have to go with what seems good. Because you would have filled them in about these fake dreams. Do you know what I mean? Life is not about getting rich quick. Life is about peace. Everybody that does this road thing is on the same quest to be able to sit in their house, not have nobody chase them, not have no one after them, no police knocking their door. They can pay their bills, they can sit with their family and be at peace with the minimal stress from outside as possible. But kids, you can get the same dream, same ultimate goal. Going to school, working, earning a job. Because remember, the man that's on the road, he wants everything. He wants the best clothes. He wants the chains. He wants the cars. He wants the women. He said, all these are still obtainable by getting a job. You can pay your bills. You can treat your girlfriend to something. You can treat them. But the thing is, how far you can go depends on how far you're ready to work in order to get up the ladder. Legitly. Earn a good job. You know? Every penny on earth is up for grabs. You can work and be the best at whatever you want to. If you focus on being the best, you'll be the best. You don't have to go into the field. You don't have to, you know what? You're 14. You don't have to bail mum out now. Do you understand? The best thing you can do for mum is stay in the house, educate yourself, get a good job, take the stresses of mum, of worrying, having to panic about you being out and being around the wrong people and getting caught up in police and do that. That stress that you give mum, no amount of money that you bring in the house can ever, it can't get rid of that. Do you understand? Be that child that you're meant to be. Enjoy your childhood. Enjoy it. You don't have to be a 14-year-old kid, doesn't have to be 25 right now, dealing with 30-year-old people's beef. You don't have to be. Enjoy yourself. You don't understand how beautiful it is to be young and free, and you're not living the best life. You're not paying no bills. You're eating for free. You know, you can still get trainers on me. Like, the thing is, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You understand? Enjoy it. Because it's not forever. So while you can enjoy it. Don't try and grow too quickly. You understand? Because nothing good comes from growing too quickly. You miss out on so many years. You know, like, I like success stories. You understand? But a lot of success stories come through a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hurt. You have to go through hardship. When you go through hardship, it doesn't mean that, it's going to be forever. It just strengthens you, you know, along the way. Because when you get success, you know exactly what you had to endure to get to where you are. And you appreciate it more. You appreciate it more because the thing is, you actually work through this. You know how much sweating you had to do this. You know how many hours you had to do at work for this. You know how many books you had to read to get to where you are. You appreciate it. And that journey, you'll be able to pass on to your own kids one day. And they'll appreciate it. And they'll understand the struggle that you went through just to give them that food on that plate. Just to give them that Nike pair of trainers that they want. Just to give them to be able to go on that school trip. They'll understand it because the thing is, you've been through it yourself. Do you understand? So please respect yourselves. Respect yourselves. Respect yourselves. Because ain't nobody going to respect yourself more than yourself. You understand? If you put yourself in a position, remember, yes, people can coerce you into do things, but remember, you still have a choice. You still have a choice. Remember, that you're not the only kid out there. So you're allowed to turn people down. But encourage your friends to start turning people down as well. So you can have a generation of people that said no instead of a generation of people that said yes. You know? No, we're not going to be nobody's workers. We're going to work and be our own bosses. You know, we're going to have that mansion, but we worked hard for it. We're going to be successful and we earned it. You know, nobody's going to be able to put us in jail for what we achieved because we worked hard the legit way to do it. My mum is going to be proud of me. My dad's going to be proud of me. Generations are going to be proud of me. My kids that I haven't even had, they're going to be proud of me. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I did it the right way. And I've got a story that people can speak and respect and talk nice on. Do you understand? Anybody that does something successfully, trust me, you're a legend in somebody's eyes. You don't have to be appreciated by everybody, but you're a legend in somebody's eyes. Be a success story that people can follow and be like. Trust me. See, growing up, why I'm so passionate about this. I found myself in similar situations. You know? I never blame nobody for what I went through in life because it was still a choice. But ultimately, I thought by doing what I'm doing, I'm better in the situation, better in my household. But really and truly, I gave my brothers a good life. I gave cousins, family, other family members a good life. But I ruined the lives that meant so much to me. And that's my mum and dad's relationship with me. That's what was my everything. My brothers were just part of me. Remember, before my brothers, it was just me, mum and dad. So we have that special bond. I am the first edition, you know? So it was always for good. Well, mum and dad only lasted a year, but it was a year. It was all about me, you know what I mean? And I ruined that because of bad choices. Now, things are getting better, but I'm 40 plus telling you that things are getting better. It's taken that long for me to get to where a place of comfort. I've tried everything, but sometimes we do so much, yeah, that we don't even realize the damage that we're doing to people, because people are just, they're still trying to cheer you on to do the right thing, do the right thing, but we're missing the tear that's flowing on the inside. We're missing the pain that is being felt when you're not there. You know, we're missing the tears, the anger that is being displayed when we're sleeping. There's a lot of damage that we're doing that sometimes our parents are not open to tell us, because they don't want us to feel bad or feel their pain. They want us to be, you know, that kid that they've raised, you know, like, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Do you know what I mean? But they don't tell us their pain. They're never going to tell you the whole story, because they don't want you to feel bad. They want you to focus on being better. You know, you can sit. Your mum will smile for you and tell you like everything's okay, but nothing's okay. Even your mum will tell you, like, my mum will always tell me like, listen son, I need you better from you. I need you better from you. But that better for you had so many tears that were hidden behind it. That better for you, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Every word she shouted at me, it was accompanied by tears that I never saw. It was a painful that I'm sitting now at this age and I can hear the words, but they hit differently. Because when I was younger, they didn't hit differently, because I just believed that what I was doing was the right thing. So growing up, like, we don't realize the damage that we do by allowing ourselves to be misled or doing the wrong things. Like our parents, they're like superheroes for us. My mum, my dad were superheroes. My dad was like Superman. My mum was like Superwoman. But I became that kryptonite to them because of the life that I was leading, the stuff that I was doing, you know. It weakened them. I saw them at their weakest, you know, tears. This is not the mummy that I know. Do you understand? Mummy was vibrant. Daddy was that strong guy. No, we couldn't be weak around daddy. But I was making daddy weak by what I was doing. I was a kryptonite for the Superman. Like my mum and dad, they didn't deserve none of what I put them through. Do you understand? Like to this day, it's a lot. This is why I just need you kids just to, you know, like I just don't need to, because you know what it is, some of these parents, you know, they go through so much and we sit there and we just think because we changed our life, it's okay. It's okay. Like every stab that you receive, your mum receives it. Understand that every time you've been nicked, your mum's been nicked. Every bullet that goes into your body and you recover from, that stays lodged in your parents, because that's the day that they nearly lost their kid. So but they can remove a bullet from you, but they can't remove that bullet from your parents. That stays in their head. I nearly lost my son. I nearly lost that son. Imagine have a bullet lodged in your head, but it's just full of memories of my son not here. My son in the hospital strapped to wires. My son, he can't breathe. My son, like, imagine living with that all your life. It's okay for you because the doctor fixed you. You can move on, and you know what? I'm moving out of the area. I'm not doing this no more. But the thing is, they can't move on. They can't move on. They'll tell you it's okay, but the thing is, they're still dealing with that pain. They take that pain to the grave. If that's what you want for your parents, please, kids, seriously, like, I can't do enough. Please, all I can do is just tell you this message. You know, I'm not your older. I'm not relatable in your area, maybe, whatever. But I'm telling you, this message is relatable to everybody. Because everybody that has been out there in that world needs to be doing what we're doing right now. You need to be telling these kids, listen, fix up. Fix up. Fix up.